everybody. Welcome back. Oh my God, it's Mitz Feelings. As today is our first session of the 26-27 Academy for Program Coordinators. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're the first time you're here for a great time, great topics. This is a safe space for everybody. So I'll be posting throughout the session. We have our slide reel right now showing the evaluation form and the attendance form for this session, but I will be posting in the chat regularly throughout the session the links also. Because this year we're doing something new. We are allowing you to register using Zoom and getting the calendar series for the whole year. So you can join the meetings that you're able to join. So we have that link there. We have the links to our Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube channel. And then if you're interested, we do have a planner that we're still selling. So I am so excited to have you with us today. Welcome back again. Um, this is a session. I'm going to stop my screen share for a sec. This is a session that has been requested previously. We do our needs assessment every year, and some of the topics related to career growth within our roles. I honestly love that because we can do so much more than what we actually do. And sometimes it's interesting to keep explaining what we do to people, right? So, without further ado, I am going to introduce to Linda Alawa. She will be our speaker today talking about the career growth of a program coordinator. So, Linda, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Aria. Welcome everybody, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Um, it's a good thing we're probably, I would have to say, not live like I'm there with y'all because I'd be really nervous because I think there's a lot of people out here right now.
I'm not gonna say numbers right now. I'm keeping track of numbers.
Yeah,
So
you don't need to. I'm just going to look at it as I can see like five people right now, and that's all I'm going to see. Hey guys. So, again, my name's Linda Alawa, and I'm currently, uh, I guess what I was referring to is I work for HES, and we are a sponsoring institution for many different programs. And I have the pleasure of being the mentor, the teacher, and everything for our program coordinators on a one-on-one basis, and also our new innovations person, and getting developed teaching. Also working on some micro learning modules right now for our group as well. And we have PC huddles every Tuesday. So I know what it's like to start as a program coordinator. I've been doing this for over 20 years. In fact, Aria and I just had a conversation about age, and I think I shocked her, but we won't go into that. She can tell you all that later. So without further ado, let me share my screen and we'll get busy here. Now, I do want to remind y'all, um, how this is my personal aspect, my personal, I guess you'd say, development, things I've learned along the way. This is all that information. I did a little research before because I'm in that goal right now of doing research on things. And overall, we all know how program coordinators are viewed. I mean, it's no secret. It's not being a program coordinator is not viewed as a so-called career, which is very irritating to me. And that's one of the things that I'm working on in my longevity of my plan before I retire one day is to make sure that all these years of dedication to residents and faculty and getting the job done is finally recognized. Hey, it's a career. There needs to be a career growth for everybody in every place, and people need to understand what GME is all about. It's not just about the resident, not just about the program director. Bless them, they all work hard, but I can guarantee you we do 10 times as much, and uh, we need to be recognized for it as well. So, as we start out conflict, I have no conflicts. of interest. I'm not that far advanced yet, so hopefully one day I can say, yeah, need to let y'all know about this. So real quick, this is me in a nutshell and my family. This is a big part of any of you and how you grow in your career and the people that support you and the things that you have outside of your career. Mind you, it's very important. You have to have a life outside of work. Even though it seems like we dedicate 24/7 to the job, everybody needs a mental break. So this is my family, my three sons and my stepson, and then my daughter-in-law, my two little grandkids, my husband. The place I like to travel is Egypt. I am a car nut. This is my show car and my daily driver. I work on my car myself and put it in shows. And then it's all about Sammy Hagar. So tells you what my age is right there if y'all can put that together. So let's get on to the good stuff. So today we're going to look at a map for your vertical pathway to how to, bring up your timelines, write it down, get it in front of you to work your way up the career ladder. We're going to identify some milestones that'll help you get there and how you're going to actually shift your mindset from being operational to analytical. And I'm sure most of you that have been doing this for a while already do that, but it's very important in this, if you want to make this a career, that you do look at this as a way to grow, is to make things analytical. And then you need to build your own actionable growth plan. Now, maybe you're deciding this isn't for you, and that's okay. But if you are, start planning now, start keeping track of the things you do, documenting. So let's visualize the vertical path. So over approximately 10 years, you're going to shift from managing and operational logistics to steering institutional strategy and gaining some specialized GME credentials, presenting at national scholarly activity places, and earning advanced leadership degrees and opening doors from every angle. This is the way to kind of gauge it. We all know that when you're a program coordinator, the first 3 years are getting to even know what the job's all about. I suspect that a lot of you were thrown into the position and said, hey, figure it out, and you kind of muddled through it. The other thing with this is find yourself a good mentor during this time, somebody that's been here for a while and that can help you grow and help you develop and give you all the insights and the little nuances that you can't read about in ACGME or that you can't read about in institutional guidelines or program guidelines. There's a lot of little shortcuts and things that people have created. Get out there and do some research to help you grow. Then we were hopeful, and mind you, I came along late in this, and this is what I would have done had I done it a little bit differently. But and you need to be able to move and adjust yourself accordingly. In your mind and your skill set when it's time to move, when it's time to grow, when it's time to take that step. If you can grow in the current position that you're in, and that's great. But I would say 9 out of 10 times as program coordinators, you do have to move around a lot, and not everybody understands what program coordinating is all about. But this just kind of gives you a layout of the years that you have to, have to get into this and all of the development that goes into it. Okay, so on floor one, so how many here of you are on floor one right now? Anybody? Show of hands. Yeah, a few people, and that's okay. We got to start out somewhere, right? So here you're kind of mastering your basic GME accredited academic compliance while immersing yourself in peer support groups and local coordinator groups, and in reality, paddling just to stay afloat. We know how it goes. It will be the hardest 3 years in a position that you could possibly imagine. Things come at you from all directions, people come at you from all directions, and sometimes we get lost in trying to over organize ourselves. So from residents pulling you in 20 different directions, evaluations need to be tracked, faculty rotations, vacations, work hours, possible FMLA by residents, PEC, CCC, APE, surveys, ads, and so on and so on. The work never ends. So during these first 3 years, you're just trying to survive. It's a survival skill. On floor two, so how many of you are stopped on floor two right now? This is like a 4 to 6 year range. All right, so floor two, it gets a little easier as time goes on. You get in a routine. You understand the requirements, and confidence in yourself rises, and confidence is given out, and other people can see you becoming more confident. You struggled through those first 3 years and got it. So next you move on to growing yourself. At this point, you have to decide, yep, this is where I want to be. I want to be in this field. I need to set my goals and targets to get there. Tag me is your next step, and begin presenting, contributing, and putting yourself in positions to grow and develop on committees and boards. Take that first chance at presenting to a live audience. It gets easier as it goes. Practice, practice, practice on that. Okay. Floor 3, do we have anybody 7 to 8 years? Okay, this is where you really get into researching and understanding what my role really means in residency, my importance, and my research leadership, how to be a leader. You submit ideals for national presentations, and don't be discouraged if you don't get accepted the first time. Keep plowing forward. Take it in stride, take feedback, get a mentor that writes a lot to help you. And understands, the big thing is to understand graduate medical education. Make sure that your mentor has that background. Keep on top of ACGME standards all the way. Think and design new ways and systems to help others and present those. Believe it or not, it doesn't always have to be some publication and some fancy demonstration of how things work. Just a simple improvement in a process. That's a big thing when you think about there may be people out there that you want to mentor or that you're going to help and help them grow by giving them something so small to you, and it was just something that helped you, but they don't know about it and they didn't think that way. It helps other people think outside the box. Okay. Think and design new ways and systems to help others and present those. Begin to mentor to those who are just starting out, and remember where you came from, and remember you can't take it with you when you retire down the line. So you want to leave all the information behind as much as you can. Okay, that helps you grow when you share with others. Leave the knowledge to those who follow. All right, anyone on floor 4? Ah, yes. There's a lot of us on floor 4. Okay, this is a big one. So the time and effort and above all dedication that you have put forth so far to be a residency coordinator, look to educate yourself outside the realm of just a GME coordinator. You're much more than that. You're a designer, you're a project manager, you're an HR director, and a team lead for your program. You are the right hand to your PD, and your knowledge has grown in your role. Look into pursuing that next degree or really finishing up on the one you started. Keep that goal in mind. Get in on national conferences and boards and establish yourself and your processing skills and knowledge. Further your education. Like when am I going to have time for a scholarship? I don't have enough time to do my job. You explain it a bit better in your resource, but not as much in the presentation. I would say something mindset shift. Always keep your mindset in shift. Okay. This is just something common to keep you flowing and to keep it going. Okay. And floor 5, the top level. So I know there's somebody's here. So, and look at that. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, look. See, I'm not even on a 5 yet. Okay. I still have ways to grow. So, welcome to the penthouse. You did it. As they say, the sky is the limit. You've built your career and moved up. You've achieved your degree, certifications, understand the ins and outs of residency programs and what is really needed. You have put yourself into a place of success and authority on running programs, developing programs, and learn the ins and outs. Show of hands, how many of you that are on this level are already mentoring somebody or a few people? That's awesome. Oh, great. Wow. Y'all didn't even need me here today. I'm already telling y'all things y'all already know. All right. While tactical GME compliance is like crucial on the early floors in your career, Moving Mech requires that you prioritize any scholarships, network leaderships, and advanced degrees and training. Always remember that. The first part of it is just learning the basics, and then the rest of it is growing yourself if you want to stay in this position. I'm sure those of you that are on that penthouse floor have stories to tell about what you've gone through, the fights you've had to come up with to get where you're at, and make people understand what the job's all about. It's not just a secretarial or administrative job, and there's nothing wrong with that. Grant you, I've been there and did that, and it's a great career to have, but when you're in GME, it's a little bit more than that. All right. So these slides represent the best way possible to provide a guide in developing your future. Time and years and achieving milestones can always fall short or move ahead, or what may be listed here may fall behind because of other things that come up, family or a sickness. It's never cut and dry. It's going to be just like this. Just the main thing is I want y'all to remember, don't forget where you're going and what you want to be when you grow up, okay? Uh, this is just a checklist of items you can think about and plan around. Um, you don't have to follow it. It in no way says anything. These are from, like I said, my own input, my own development, and things I've learned from other coordinators. You will fit what best fits your lifestyle and your time in your life. So, maybe you have small children right now and it's not really good and you've been doing this for, 6 years. Well, it's just not the right time for you to pursue anything past that until the kids get out of school. Understandable. Other things take priority. Just don't lose sight of where you want to be, and just don't lose sight of who you are and what you want to become. Okay. All right, so let's review this. There are 4 practical, highly obtainable action items to get to that penthouse. They focus on network, building your portfolio, mapping your plan, identifying analytical study targets, and mapping out your own destiny in GME. Nobody can set that but you. Maybe you think, I stay in this about 4 years and then I'm not going to do anything else with it. But you get to that 4th year or that 5th year and you're like, you know what? This is really growing on me. And I will be one of the first people to probably tell you, I have left GME. I left it for about 3 years because I had a headache. I was like, I can't take this anymore. But then I just wandered my way back into it because it was really all I knew, and what I understood and what I enjoyed was the main thing. The main reason I got back into it because I love to see my residents spend 4 years in a residency program and graduate and feel good and go out and get their job. You've helped somebody. It's not just other coordinators, but you're helping those residents. You're their support system, you're their mom, you're their friend, you're their guider. And you are getting residents that are younger than you. So, you get to mentor them too. It's not just about what the program director and the faculty can do. You have the personal side of that. All right. So I want to thank you all so much for your time today. I hope this elective path will encourage you and help you think about your future in GME. I hope it gives you pride to know that you are making a difference in the future of physicians' lives, and you're a very, very important part of the GME world. Without you all, this would not be successful. There would not be programs. Okay, you are a key component of the program. And in case you haven't heard today, you are appreciated. I know your residents appreciate you. I know your institution appreciates you, and I appreciate you because you're taking the baton and going. So find your path, research it, and get going to that penthouse. These are a few of the little places that can help you. I've had to throw in my college because I'm back in school as for my EDD. Ari and I were talking about that earlier. So I go to South College. Um, so don't ever count it out, no matter what age you are. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Or not just questions, y'all share with me. What do you think? Do you like being a coordinator? Do you think you're gonna like consider it? or consider growing with it? Maybe you're in too deep and you can't back out.
Vicky, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'll offer a comment. Hi, everyone. My name is Vicky Scott. I'm actually calling from Philadelphia, PA, and Penn Madison. I'm so happy to be here and join this session. Thank you for extending this outside of your community to other areas. I loved when you said, well, maybe you're in, you can't get out. I like that. That's funny. I've been a coordinator for over 10 years. I see myself as a floor three, making my way to a fourth floor. I'm not sure if I really want to do institutional GME. I don't think that's like part of my goal plan. I see myself maybe evolving or transitioning into like other GME type bodies or agencies like maybe ACGME. I'm in pathology, that's my specialty. So maybe within CAP or AB Path or like some sort of like partnering institution that deals with our training programs and also deals with touches in GME world. I just wanted to say also, I like the descriptions, like when you were on talking about level three, how we're designers and project program managers and HR specialists and everything like that. I was just wondering, can you go through that list again? Because it's so challenging, even being in this job. And I feel like I know my job well, been here in this particular role in my specialty for a very long time. And I am the point person with my program directors and things outside of GME when they have questions about GME. It's always Vicky, 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 but it's really I find it very challenging to like just summarize exactly what I do. And even like it's like here's a job description for a senior Jamie program manager, senior
Yeah.
program administrator. Like read that, and I'm sure this doesn't encompass everything, but this will give you a good idea. So I always find, I took this course where he's like you have to come up with your elevator pitch for like like to sell yourself and what you do. And I'm like, I can't do an elevator pitch because it's too big. Our scope is too wide. Like I would just sound like an idiot trying to like put something together. So I like that list that you put together. And if you wouldn't mind reading that again, and you can take your time and maybe answer some other questions, like find your slides or your notes. Because I was jotting those down too. And I'm like, yeah, I do that too, and I do that too. So it's nice to hear
Right.
like from another perspective, like how from and also from someone in our own world of GME, how they also describe our positions as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're very welcome. And yes, so boy, that list goes on. If
I
somebody
yes.
really wants your job description, it's going to be 3 pages long. Are you ready for that? It's like, I will say my boss came to me and was asking me to help him put a new job description together for our program coordinators. And I said, well, first of all, you need to get rid of that coordinator role because it needs to be something else. It needs to be administrator, program manager, because you are managing a program. I don't care that you're not managing people, but you kind of are because you're managing the
The
residents.
trainees. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Or fellows or whoever you happen to have. But yeah, I can definitely, and I'm going to share, I'll have the slides for you. And I think that actually is in my notes and not on the slide itself, but I will definitely give it to you. Definitely. And I can even give you the 3 page version of the job description when I had to convert it into one. And I'm like, really? There,
That is so funny. I
you know,
won't ask you for all of that. If you want to share it, that would be awesome. And I'll invite everyone
absolutely
else on a
will.
call to kind of like picture catchwords for like how you describe yourselves in the chat. Because I'm like curious to see. Like I've heard chaos coordinators all the time. I'm sure everyone has heard that as well.
Yeah.
Like kings and queens of everything.
Yeah.
Like what don't I do? Like that's a better title.
Right.
Like
So,
what do you do? What don't I do? I think
if
that'll
you
be
had,
easier. Yeah.
exactly. And if you had to put it all in one phrase, and it would be comparison to a career, you might as well say you're a project manager. I mean, if somebody really wanted to get technical with you, but you're a project manager of graduate medical education. So that opens up that whole door of, yeah, I mean, most of the time you are. But if you think about it, you as an individual, you're also an organizer, a planner, you're an event planner, you're a project manager, you're a psychiatrist, therapist, you're a developer. I'm sure you do things for your website or for, I don't know if y'all have social media and you help out with that, but if you are the overseer of the media, then what does that make you? You're actually a marketing person. I mean, there's all kind, that is a wide variety title. And that's why program coordinator to me just doesn't do it justice. And that's one of the things I'm working really hard for us to have as a career ladder and a change in those names for that. So definitely, I will send it, I'll make up a little list and send it back to Aria and she can get it out to y'all.
Amy.
So in your GME ladder or up to the penthouse, now when you were talking about being a GME administrator, is the pathway to be a DIO within the line of a coordinator, or do you have to be an MD or DO to be a DIO?
Great question. So, the majority of the institutions I have found, and just in my own research, they do ask for an MD or at least a DOMD, but there are institutions out there that will hire DIOs without that title, and it's not an ACGME requirement that they be an MD or a PhD or a DO or a doctor in training, whatever. There are
Okay.
DIOs out there that are not doctors. Okay,
Okay.
so don't let it stand in your way to think, oh, I could never be a DIO because I don't have it. Nope, nope, nope. ACGME doesn't specify as a
Yeah.
DIO. So
'Cause-
definitely, and it's a great question, Amy. Great question.
yeah. Because I know that program directors have to be medical.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. They do. There's so many
Yeah.
facets of being a DIO. And I used to, honestly, I had my mentor. I asked the same thing. I said, well, what if you want to, what if I want to be a DIO someday? I guess I can't because I'm not a doctor. And she goes, oh, no, that's not true. ACGME doesn't
Okay.
care, you know?
Okay.
So, because I think one thing that they leave it open like that is because what if you do have your PhD or your EDD? You're just, the only thing you don't do is practice on patients. And you can't teach how to practice on patients. And as a DIO, there's more administrative things than teaching. Or if you come to look at it, most DIOs don't have patients anymore. And they're not in
Right.
clinics and they're not teaching. So therefore, you're not going to be teaching doctors.
So you mentioned EDD, so that's something you're doing. So
Yes,
that's
correct.
that's like after you get CTAGME, then the next like education level is the EDD and then possibly PhD
Yeah.
in GME.
So EDD is an equivalent of a PhD. PhD.
Okay.
Aria, are you doing your PhD or your EDD?
No, so here's what I learned when I did my research when I started my doctoral journey. So I have
Yes.
my Master of Science. Usually you do after bachelor's, you can do your master's and then you do your doctoral. That's usually the scheme. But a PhD is more research oriented. It's more for people who are going to be working more on research. And this is what I found out when I was doing my research on all the programs. I was between PhD or a DBA, which is a
Hmm.
doctor in business administration. But somebody wise told me, look for something that could help you in what you're doing right now. And I found this program, which is at EDD, a Doctor of Education, and it's more practical. So that's the main difference between the PhD and other
Yeah.
doctoral is because the PhD is more research and the others are more practical, are
Yep.
more in tune with what you do every day.
Correct. Yeah. So you're doing your EDD too. So the EDD is more like, so my plan, ultimate goal is to actually one of these days, hopefully, knock on wood, before I retire, is to be like an adjunct professor and teach. So I can take that EDD and go into a university and teach. EDD, like she says, more for a functional level. PhD is the research part, and you don't get into that. They're equivalent. It's still a doctorate. And you are right. You do have to do your bachelor's and your master's. You don't have to wait to get you can do your CTAGM anyway, but you can start school whenever you want. Like, have at it. Start at it early and just get, basic stuff out of the way. And the sooner the better because you're never going to lose your credit. Please know that as when you're going to college, those credits stay with you forever. Depending on your program, it depends on if they're transferable, but you can guarantee that all your basic things like your English, your math, your biology, all that's going to be transferable. When you get into your specialty, that's a little different. I'm halfway. Ari is much further ahead than I am. I don't have my dissertation for like another year yet. So, and I'm actually doing a capstone instead of a dissertation. So, but nonetheless, you can do those things now. You know, if this is what your ultimate goal is. CTAG me, unfortunately, you have to wait for a 3 year gap, 3 years in a program before you can actually set for it. And that was another thing that I wish they'd kind of change that rule. And I think they'd have more people stay longer in the coordinator role. Coordinators turnover so high because you don't have a plan. You know, nobody's sitting there saying, "Hey, you can do this. You can do this down the line. You're not wasting your time." You know, it's so tough to
Mhm.
convince somebody of that. And especially when the certification that you can get, you have to work in it for 3 years. I think it's ridiculous, but I'm hoping. I'm part of ACGME, guys. I have my C tag me, but I still don't agree with some of the rules. So
So would you just Google schools
I
under D, like Doctorate of Business Administration or EDD?
yes, you
Okay.
can. I specifically go to mine's all online. My master's, I have. Let me back up a little bit. So what is it? 13 years ago? 13 years ago, I had nothing. No associates, no bachelors, nothing. And somebody told me that I could have had a job, but I didn't have a degree. And I was like, oh, oh, excuse me, ladies, gentlemen, hold my beer. I'm going to do this. And so I went to an accelerated program and whammed myself and got my bachelor's. It was the associate's bachelor's and my master's in a 4 year period. And I almost killed myself doing it, but I was going to do it because I was older. And I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have 10 years to sit through this, you know? And so I did it. And just last year, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get this, I'm going to get my doctorate degree because I want to teach. I want to be able to teach people and help them succeed in this career. And so that's kind of what prompted me to do it. So you can find schools that are completely online. The one I'm doing now is completely online. It's at South College, and it's in Tennessee, and they do this course. It's called CBE. And look at me, I'm doing advertisement for them. I need to let my professor know this. Um, but it's called curriculum based education. And what I like about it is they really focus on what you're pursuing. And since mine's the adult development and curriculum, it's all about teaching development and curriculum to adults and how you do that. And it also, I love the way they work is you do a project, and if you get something wrong, they send it back and say, look, you need to relook at this. You need to, your APA formatting's wrong, which that's my biggest thing right there. And a couple of times I've gotten too wordy. They're like, oh, it doesn't need to be 10 pages. We only need like 6 pages. So you're going to have to cut this down. And so they check it, they send it back to you, allow you to correct it and resubmit it, and then they give you your grade on it. So basically, you're going to get a 4.0 on here. But your time is spent on making corrections. So you always want to make sure you get it just perfect when you get it in. So I'm going to be honest, over my last, well, I've completed 2 classes, almost finished with the third one. Out of those three, I've had 4 of my papers returned. 2 of them because they were too lengthy, and the other one were APA formatting because I just didn't pay attention. But they came back, I corrected them, I got it. And guess what? It stuck in my mind more than somebody saying, well, you made a C, and not going over with, well, why did I make the C? So it's taught me a lot. It's taught me growth with my thinking. It's taught me to really taught me how to write, as far as like outlining something first, like outlining. And so that has carried over into outlining a project. Like, okay, I've got this project. This is what I need to accomplish. I have this goal, and I need to write down what I need in an outline and then work towards it. So it's really helped. It really has. The other college I went to for the bachelor's, master's together was American Intercontinental University, AIU. And I know there's tons of them out there. There are a lot of them out there. So, you know, do your due diligence and research, see what one's cost effective for you, time, you know, however you want to do it. Sorry, guys, I talk a lot. Y'all just interrupt me.
No, and that's beautiful. And I wanted to add to that, when you do your research on schools, take into consideration if you want to do something that is asynchronous or synchronous, especially in online. because when I did my master's, it was asynchronous. I did not have weekly sessions. I just did my work and that's it. But now I'm synchronous where I meet with, it's kind of combination, but I do have classes every week. Actually we did last night. I was in class. So that's another aspect that you want to consider when you are researching these programs. It's
Absolutely.
especially if they're online, because obviously if they're in person, you're going to be there in person all the time. But when you're online, those two are big considerations to your research.
Absolutely. That is that great point, Aria. Great point. So Aria's like just throwing this out there. My bachelor's and master's were a class every week, just like you're talking about. This one is not. The only people I don't meet with, I don't even know who's in this school. The only people I talk to are my professors. That's it. Because I don't need it. I'm sorry, I just don't need all that. I don't want to post on a discussion board. I spent 4 years doing that. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to do these things. And it's just me and my stubborn personality. But, I've already done that, been there and did that. Let me just get this. I want to learn and get it over with. And I'm really bad about that. And so when I found this, I was like, this is so good. I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to participate in class at all. Now, with that being said, I have tons of meetings on my calendar where they have lunch and learn sessions. They have speakers come in and they set up actual conferences, invite so you can go and participate. Yesterday we had one and it was about the capstone and dissertation, and it was the professor I have right now that was giving it. And so, there was two students that were there watching it, and we had her to ourselves. And so we could just like split off all these questions and ask her all these things. And then the other girl got involved, and then we got to talking. And she was like, "Oh, that's a good point." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I love your question. I didn't think about that." So you still have, some of that in these classes, but it's not mandatory that you log in or be there. And in my situation in my life, when I don't have patience for it, because I just don't want to do that, this worked out perfectly. But I will say, when I found South College, it had taken me about 2.5 months to do a lot of breakdown and research. And is it worth it? And what are the reviews? And they were pretty well established in the CBE program, and they're a well-known college. I mean, they actually have a campus in Nashville. So that was my deciding factor. And then their cost was not terrible. So another thing. So I'm just talking. Sorry, guys. Anybody else got anything?
So we have two questions in the chat. I've been trying to keep them viewed. So one of
Thank
them
you.
says, how do you feel about the comparison of a mother in the program? It happens to all of us. And then the second question was your education recognized for advancement promotion in the GME world?
So to answer the first one, how do I feel about being in that mother role? Is that what it?
Yeah.
That's a very controversial thing when some people don't like it. They're like, I'm not your mother. You need to listen to me. But if you think about it and think back, because I know we've all had moms, or we wouldn't be here. How many times has your mom been authoritative to you? That's when your middle name comes out. How many times have you gone to your mom crying about something and needed her support? You didn't need an opinion, you didn't need direction, you just needed some support and somebody to listen. And she's the closest person that you felt comfortable with. Okay. How many times have you called your mom when you're sick? Said, I feel terrible. Or, how many times have you called your mom when you're struggling to get through something? So, being called mom, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. A mother's a very supportive person in your life. And for many of our residents that are actually maybe even coming from another country and they don't have anybody here, you're the first friendly face that they've seen. You're the first person that they feel comfortable talking to. You've been talking to these people before they even came there. You talked to them about their interviews, you guided them, you've helped them. And over years, you just kind of become close. So I consider it an honor if somebody feels that comfortable with me to call me their mom. Um, if you don't like that, but you do those things, you know, you can consider yourself more like a guidance counselor if that helps you deal with that situation. Not everybody's going to like it, and that's okay. And I understand not everybody's, feels comfortable being called that, or they don't feel respected as enough. But, that's a very high, respectful thing to me. And that's my opinion on it. Um, and what was the second one, Aria? See, I talked too much.
The second one has to do with, was your education recognized for advancement promotion in the GME world?
What it has gotten me is the ability to look for a better position. Again, we fight so much in you're lucky if you're in an institution that recognizes your progression and your education. And I find that to be most dominant in university settings because they know what it is. If you go outside of that, I've worked for hospitals before. I work for a community hospital now. It's a fight, but I'm one of those people that I'll fight it and say, well, why not? So, I've done what I'm supposed to, and it's time. So it's tough. If I could say, have I been recognized for it? When I got my C tag me, I had it way back in the Stone Age days when we actually had to do it on writing paper. So, um, but I let it lapse because I got out of GME, and then when I went back, I didn't have it, so I had to retake it this time, and I was like, oh my God, this is so different. So after I got it, I actually got hired in this position that I'm in now. I've been here for 2 years. And I told them that I was getting my CTAG me. And when I did get it, they did give me a bump in pay. So I was very thankful for that. And I had just started. So it was like, oh, well, you have it now. We work a little different here, and like I'm having to fight for my last program coordinator who just got her CTAG me, and they're like, "Oh, good for you." No, that's not. No, no, no. So I have to pull my DIO in and say, "I need your help," because the facility is not recognizing this, and this is a big thing, and it should be recognized, and this is why it needs to be recognized. And so I've got to prepare some kind of a presentation to say, this is why we need to do this. And that's part of my long-term goal here is to get our career ladder developed so we can do these things. It's good to have support from your DIO, from your program director, and somebody at your facility and your administration, HR. You know, I suggest highly sitting down and having a talk with them and saying, this is what it's all about. Let me show you what we do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I hate hearing. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, well, if you don't like it and you're not going to recognize me, see ya. I mean, I'm sorry. I told
Oh,
y'all, patience is small with those kind of things.
yeah, I have a private question, and I'm gonna throw it this way so that anybody who is able to share their job descriptions,
Hmm.
if they are able to share them with us at the Academy email so we can share them with other people. Because, and it's a good point that this person is making, they don't have growth opportunities. And most of us have been told at one point, you're in a dead end job. Yeah, we've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
So if there's somebody who who is interested and is able to share their job descriptions, de-identified, obviously, and let's make a a document with those so to compare and help other institutions support that growth, that increment of opportunity to create more growth opportunities for people like us in the GME world. So, and I would like to know a little bit of those who were able, because I have a friend here.
Wait a
Patrice.
minute. Oh, I was going to say, you have a friend? Oh, no, I'm kidding, Aria.
who posted a great comment, and I know you told me the story, but can you tell a little condensed version of how you got your institution to approve Tag Me as a credential?
Of course, my
Please.
friend Aria. Well, I've been here 15 years. I've been at Methodist Charles for 15 years. And unfortunately, we do have a turnover, not here in my office here at Family Medicine, but on the other campus, there's a high turnover. But I was able to, with the retention of coordinators here in my campus. So once I went to recertify for Tag Me, to do my recertification for Tag Me for my second set. I went to HR. I went to the HR department and had them to go through Edisys, ask if they would redo tuition reimbursement so that now, because it was not part of a reimbursement, and so that our current coordinators, the new coordinators that came in, and when it was time, when that 3 years came, that they would not have to pay out of pocket for Tag Me certification. And so our HR department did go ahead and approve, went on ahead and approved for Tag Me certification initially. Now for maintenance, so far they won't do reimbursement for maintenance of your certification, but for initial certification for Tag Me, they have done that. And part of that goal is to have some type of carrot for the coordinators to stay and have something to look forward to. So I'm hoping, and I'm with you, and I tell Aria all the time, this is a career. This is a career. We do so much from housekeeping to legal, from housekeeping to legal to budgets, and believe it or not, you handle multi-million dollar budgets. You handle multi-million dollar budgets. So you're not just doing your budget is just not office supplies. Your budget is everything. And you have to keep your budget balanced. So you do so much, and we want all coordinators and new coordinators on here. I want you see all the people here, you see everyone that's talking, just know you have a team. You have a team that you can go to and they're on retainer for free. They're on retainer for free. So you have a lot of people that you can reach out to who can help you to give and will be honest with you with the bad and the good. And sometimes you can speak to someone, they can say, I see what path where this may go, and then help you reach your end goal for a positive end goal. Um, but just hang in there, everyone. Just hang in there. And if there's a change that you see, you may not be able to do it today, but just keep track of changes that you think of. And as you move along, then you go ahead and ask about implementation or just put things forward. But think of you also. And as tough as it is, just try to have a happy day. Just try to have, there are parts of your day, your secret wins every day, your silent wins every day. There are good things that happen every single day. So just honor and recognize your silent wins also.
Thank you so much for
Mhm.
adding that. That is fantastic advice. Um, you talk about the small wins. I do have to bring up something really quick. This sounds really stupid to a lot of people, but I was almost in tears yesterday for this. We, as a sponsoring institution, HES has been around for like 5 years, and so they've never had a logo. Like we had the main community hospital logo. So we tried to invent one and they didn't like it. And finally, our DIO was like, this is ridiculous. That's a stupid looking logo. So he got in with marketing. And after months of work, we finally have our own logo. Now, I know that sounds stupid, but the first thing we thought of was like, that came into my mind was, oh my God, we can get the program coordinators t-shirts now. That has the logo on it. It was something to be proud of. And I know it sounds stupid and it sounds like a really dingy thing, but when you fight hard for stuff and you get a response that's positive, you remember those things. So it makes you go to the next thing you want to stand about and stand up for and try to get progression on. So don't give up. Don't give up.
That is not stupid. Yeah, because it's a small win, but it's a win. You
Well,
got
and
it.
yeah. And with all the things that you have to jump through in an institution to get a t-shirt made, right? To get a logo, right? We just went through rebranding here at UNT HSC, and we're now UNT Health. It is exhausting. And some of the questions you get are like, what? Or then maybe marketing says, no, we don't really like that. But you put your heart and soul into it. But then to know you have a logo, right? Like when we got our logo for APC, and then we got different things as we've done this for how many years now, like 6 years, right? That we've had APC. And we don't get, this is not for Aria and myself and Nicole, who's not here today, but this is not this doesn't give us any extra income. It doesn't add anything to our check. It's something during COVID that we were like, we need this, and we've continued it. And our dean loves it. Like, we're very supported, but this isn't part of our evals. I mean, it is a little bit like we can make it a goal, but like, and we got so excited when we got like help with our logo, when we got permission to do emails, when we got just everything we've done has just been like, and now we're doing a in-person conference, right? And to have I mean, we don't get a lot of monetary support. Most of it comes from registration, but when we go back to the dean or to our assistant dean, and they're like, or they're with us in some of the sessions we do in person, and they're so impressed, we're just so proud that we can share this knowledge that wasn't shared with us when we were growing up in the profession, right? Because I've been doing it, I'm in 26 years now. I know I look like I'm only 26 years old. I'm really not, but you know,
You do.
my son is a 37-year-old doctor, guys. Anyway, but Linda, we can just be each other's hype woman. But I'm just saying, like, when you get those things done, when you love what you do, when you realize, and Patrice and I've talked about this, a lot of you, but when you realize like we're helping build the next generation of doctors, like that's on my CV. It's part of my CV, like, or my resume, right? But, and I come from a background, Gina, you're so sweet. I come from a background, and I'm very transparent with you guys. I've spoken to you guys many times over the years. I started this with no degree. Guys, I had a GED. I was an administrative assistant. And I'm working on a degree now. Like, I'm SAGME certified twice, and I fought hard and long because I'm no longer in a residency management position, right? But I love GME. My TAGME expires in December. I had multiple letters written because they were not going to let me recertify, but I have to take the exam again, and I'm doing it. And they're not letting me just recertify with my CMEs or whatever CEUs. I'm doing it, like, right? But you can ask Aria and Nicole, I was gutted. I was like, I'm so proud of this certification because I got it way back when. I'm going into my 10th year, being certified. But it legitimizes what we do. And so sorry, I got off on a tangent. But just to say that we're helping create the next generation of doctors. Like, sometimes when people ask me, what do you do, right? And I've done other things here at the medical school, but I'm like, I help people become a doctor, like, in a nutshell. So, but everything that Linda said in her varied descriptions, I've said that to people. I'm like, I'm an event planner, I'm this, I'm that, and then I'm making sure that we're credentialed. Like, I'm off my soapbox, but there you go, guys.
Kimberly's my bestie here, so
I love it.
we share all of this. Okay, so we are 5 minutes away from our time. Any last questions? Any last comments before we jump out? Yes, no, going once, going twice.
I just want to say in closing, y'all are a delightful group. This has been the most fun I've had. You've made this so relaxing. I just feel like I'm sitting around having tea with the girls during the day.
Do
If
you
it was
want to know
after
what your
hours.
highest number was today?
My highest number?
Yeah.
Yes.
For what? For
the
what?
people viewing your presentation.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe I should wait. Go ahead.
It's
It
not,
was
it's not as scary as you think. I saw 114. I don't know what Aria saw, but
one
Wow.
116.
oh, okay.
Daggum.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope
So
everybody enjoyed it and it was helpful and helps everybody,
Oh,
my
I wish
main
so.
thing, I really want people to stay in this profession. We got to turn this over to people who are just as gung-ho as all of us oldies are. So, sorry
But
to
I
say
think,
it that way, but
I think we are like, when I see people doing this, and Aria and I get invited to some really cool things, and our in person, like we get to help people like do tag me, do presentations,
yes.
and I agree, doing it virtually is much easier. And right now, I stand in front of a class of 250 students. I can't breathe some days, so I get it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's a good, the good thing about virtual is you can warm up to the audience because, if you go and present at ACGME, and
Oh,
I've done that.
yeah.
Oh, it's scary. I'm going to tell you, it's scary because then you got like program directors and people in there too, and you're like, oh my God, faculty are in here. So, you know,
So yeah, and I've been there, Linda, presenting ICGME.
oh my
It
God,
is.
it's nerve-wracking.
It is. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. As a closing note, please remember that these sessions are recorded unless noted otherwise. At the end of the academic year, for those who are new, we do give out certificate of hours that you can use for your Tag Me certification. Plus, as Kimberly mentioned, we are going to be starting working on our NETS conference, which is coming up in the spring. Also, I will post this recording later with the links in Facebook, LinkedIn, and we'll send it via email and our website. And then as a side note, for those who are thinking about growth, we do have a mentorship program. We are trying to ramp it up, but also we've been working on a micro credential course for coordinators who are new experience, however, whichever level. More information because we're hopefully deploying it soon. So coming soon, a micro credential for coordinators. um, Thank you so much for joining us. And we here, yes, next week on the 21st, it is GME Professionals Day, but APC celebrates it the whole month. So for you guys, happy GME Professionals Month. Let's do it. Let's keep rocking this role. And we'll see you in September. Take care, everybody.